Bitch, I got a check.
Bitch, I got a check.
Checking in the bag.
Checking in the bag.
Bitch, I got a check.
Bitch, I got a
Yeah.
check.
All you niggas mad.
All you hoes
Yeah. Mad.
She asked me a question and I asked her a question. Like, dude, I'm not talking to you. Like, I don't know why y'all got me in here, but it was because I didn't have anywhere to go. And supposedly that's the only place they could send me to. Like, it was just weird. Like, how the fuck y'all gonna send me to a mental institution because y'all can't find nowhere for me to go? Like, I didn't need to go to foster care. I guess I was too old. They didn't know. I had to leave YSC and because I was there for so long and I didn't want to go home. My mom didn't have the rights for me to go back home. It was just a mess. So basically I'm in a system. They just sending me places at this point. So my whole childhood is the rest of that shit gone. I'm locked up from the time I was 14 until, like I said, I'm trying to get there and give y'all the gifs of everything. Go tell Millie I said come here so he can give it to you. I gotta finish this. So mind you, like I said, what did I just say? Okay, so I'm in this place and you know we had to do counseling sessions and all this shit. It was damn near like you was really locked up, and it was like we was on a routine, like every single day, a routine. I was getting up, eat breakfast, go play, do this. But it was times you can get on the phone, and other people would call me to talk to me, but they had to be on your list. So of course I finagle some shit. Shira would be on the phone, and then it would be Amanda pop up on the phone. Excuse me. Throughout this time, Amanda goes to the airport. Like her brother's baby mamas worked at the airport, and it was this guy named Mike. He was an A&R, I think for like Universal or somebody back then. Huh? He ain't working. Go tell him I said come here real quick. So, mind you, I'm locked up. Amanda was recording back then because of the shows and stuff. Hey, Millie, do me a favor and give her some juice. There's some grape juice in the refrigerator. So, she was doing talent shows in the city back then. But it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't on or nothing yet. So, her brother's girlfriend, she had a tape. We were still recording on cassette tapes back then, my nigga. Like, listening to Foxy and getting songs off the radio and recording them and shit. Listening to in the car. So, she had made us tape. She would record in her room. And, Angel, that's not what she gave them, but she wrote Angel when she broke up with my cousin. This is weird. Shonda, her name was Shonda. She broke up with her and she had wrote half of it. Or something. I don't know. So Angel came out after, I think it was Angel, Never, and a couple other fucking songs or whatever. But long story short, she gets to the tape to the damn airport. Amanda's brother, baby mama, gave the guy, was like, hey, I know somebody who was talking to them. And it was like, we looking for somebody, you know what I'm saying, that to do music. He was an A&R. His name was Mike, I believe. And they was like, oh, we know somebody, my sister, she do music. Boom, boom, boom. Give him the tape. Boom, boom, boom. He like it. Hit her up. Boom. Amanda gets a deal. I'm locked up. So she got like some type of artist development deal or some shit. I don't know if I'm telling the story wrong. I can't remember half of this shit. This shit was like 2 decades ago. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all know Angel and all that shit came out fucking 20 years ago. So, she gets this little deal or whatever. I'm locked up. They call to tell me about it. I'm like, oh, I bet. You know, I'm thinking she like, so when you get out, everything gonna be straight. I got money now. I'm gonna take care of us. Whoop-de-whoop. So I'm locked up. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So since I'm locked up, you know, I'm thinking, it's basically I'm in jail. So motherfucker should be out holding me down. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked up because, you know, your ass want to be, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, bet. I ain't got nothing to worry about. By this time, I'm like 16, damn near 17. So I'm like, all right, cool. I start hearing shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was about time they was going to let me out. And they did. One time, it was Amanda and Shira. They talked my dad into trying to sign the paperwork to get me out. So they come up there. They had my dad come up there to the hospital so he can sign me out. So we left. They came and got me. I went on a pass for a weekend. So I'm like, bet, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be getting out. They coming to get me. She coming to see me. She done snuck me out the little hospital and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. Shit, so I'm about to get out. So some shit goes south. And my dad ends up bring it here, baby girl. Bring it here. I don't want none. Thank you. My dad ended up signing the papers. My real dad, whatever you want, donor or whatever. He was good for that at one point. Signed the papers and got me out because Shira and Amanda went to him to get him to sign everything. Got me out, and come to find out, Amanda, hold on, go sit by the table. Got me out, and I was staying at my grandma's house, my dad's mom's grandma, and of course me and Amanda was still, we started back talking and shit, and I was seeing her all the time and everything, and by this time it was some shit going on in the city, and I'm like, damn, everybody gay. Hold on, y'all just harassed me, dogged me out, talked about me, had me ready to just off myself because I thought I was just the worst in the world. I got out, and everybody that I used to dance with, kick it with, it was like a party house. They was all at this house, but the whole city, it was like being gay was the thing now. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, hold on. All y'all gay? So I was like, all right, crazy. So I felt a little bit better about the situation. Everybody was fucking gay. Like, everybody in the city was gay now. I was like, okay, now y'all want to be gay. After y'all didn't force me, you know what I'm saying? Force my hand. No, but for real, like, that's how it felt. Like, like, it was this fucking party house everybody went to on Hannah Street. Homegirl had this bitch rocking, y'all. Like, every fucking day it was an orgy party. Everybody over here getting drunk. Everybody, they was smoking weed. Fucking, it was just like, what is going on over here? Like, that shit went on for like a year or so. I don't know if she ever got put out. I don't know what happened, but it was the fucking party house. So throughout these few events, I wasn't really released yet. I was just coming home on passes. Amanda started talking to my cousin. I don't know. Maybe she probably not going to say she's my cousin. What the fuck ever. I don't know or care. Shit's old. We ain't got no beef right now. But, it's like, the shit was hell for years. You feel me? So, check this. She started talking to her, and I start hearing about it. So I'm like, damn, what's going on? She like, and I finally got the chance to talk to her. She like, yeah, I met such and such. We've been talking. I'm like, damn, like, I'm about to get out. Like, it was like one of them prison movie type shit. Like, I'm about to get out. What's going on? Like, shit, all these years, I done went through this shit because I was trying to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple of dollars and now you own to something else. Like, damn, I was with you when you ain't had shit, my nigga. Like, what the fuck going on? This was before you was Amanda Perez. Before Angel, before everything. So, shit just got crazy. She got a couple of dollars. She started fucking with old girl. I still wasn't out. Something went left to where I couldn't go home with my daddy. He didn't show up for some shit, and Amanda then wasn't pressing the issue no more. So, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. I ended up having to come back to Fort Wayne. When they released me to Fort Wayne, I went to a place called Crossroads in Fort Wayne. Some shit. It was like almost a transition for independent living type situation. I don't know, some shit in Fort Wayne that I had to go to. And I stayed there for some months. I met some really, really good people. Me and Amanda at this point was not talking yet. Again, we wasn't talking. So I was about 17 or so, and I stayed there until you just end up letting me leave. Somehow I ended up going to my mom's house for a couple months. They said I could go there, so I went there somehow and turned 18. I got out of that place, turned 18, and shit, I was in the streets. Like, I ain't had nowhere to go. I turned 18 and I went to my grandma's house, my grandma Josie, and we was talking, and she was like, well, you got some money waiting for you. And I'm like, money waiting for me? I'm thinking, motherfucking man didn't left me some money or something going on. I had forgot all about the fact. When I was like 5, my mom had a beauty salon on Pontiac and John Street, over in the hood where we lived at. And we was leaving her shop one day, and we was crossing the street. And my mom, somehow, it was me, her, my little brother, and my aunt, Mary. We was crossing the street, and somehow, I don't know how this happened, Everybody else got across the street, and I got smacked by a semi truck. I think it was a semi truck, a semi truck. And on the front of the grill, I had on this like sweater, and I got stuck to the front of the grill, so it drugged me from like John Street up Pontiac, like 2 blocks down the street, or whatever. Who the hell calling me? I don't know. It drugged me like 2 blocks up the street, down Pontiac Street, until he stopped. He slammed on the brakes or whatever. But the man was like drunk. His name was Frank Sewell. I'm never gonna forget this nigga name. I think he's dead now anyway, but his name was Frank Sewell. He drugged me like 2 blocks up the street because my shirt was connected to his grill. From what I can remember, I never had any breaks, no broken bones. Only problems I had was brain damage, 50% loss of my hearing, and some other shit where they thought I was gonna be crazy for the rest of my life. So my mom signed the paper or whatever, and I got like a little settlement. How I only got like $6,000, I do not understand. Like, I was in the hospital for like a year. I had to start school a year later because of me being in the hospital and having, you know, situations going on or whatever. But anywho, so my grandma was like, you got some money. So I'm like, all right. But the way that I can only way I can get the money is if my mom went up there and signed a CD and released the money, and we both had to sign it together. So we go to Wells Fargo. I get my little check. And I'm in the streets. Like I said, I'm 18. I ain't got nowhere to go. I don't know what to do. Got a couple dollars in my pocket. No license, no car, no ID. I think I had ID. I just lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, no daddy, nobody ever taught me anything. I've been in the system all these years. I get out here. I'm back in the streets. Link up with my 2 friends I used to kick it with back in the day, named Tashiana and Shaquilla. I start going over there. We get to dancing again because I used to dance back in the day. So they still was dancing. They were way younger than me. I start linking up with them. We get to dancing. I start staying over there. I stay with Shaquilla. Her mom was like the best fucking in the world. She let me stay there for about shit off and on for damn near a year. Throughout that time, here comes Amanda coming back. We get to talking. We chop it up some. We kick it a few times throughout the year. And it was just off and on. She pop up. She'll call me. Come meet me here. We finna go eat. Come out of town. We finna do this. Pull up. She'll come get me. Shit like that. But she was still dealing with old girl. It was like off and on. They was beefing. Off and on. So I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? So we was still fucking around probably about a year. I go out there one day. And I'm thinking we finna just, you know, it's official. This what I'm finna be on, you know what I'm saying? I start staying out there and shit again for a hot second. And this is by the time she done got some bread. She was still staying at her mom's. She had went and got, it was me, her, and her brother. She went and traded in some cars. She got this Navigator back when they was popping, like the brand new Navigators, you know what I'm saying, back then. So she get this truck or whatever, we going out there, and then next thing I know, she get a phone call one day. We had went out of town. And it's old girl. I need to talk to you. I'm sorry. Da 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 da. So I'm at her mom's crib, and we sitting there, me and her mom talking. And Amanda was like, "I'll be right back. I gotta go somewhere." She went to go meet her at the park so that they can talk. Her nephew was my motherfucking homie back in the day. Little slick, you know. He was cool as fuck. You know, he really looked up to her. You know, helped her out, did what she asked him to do. That was her, like, her little ace. You know what I'm saying? So Lalo come back, and he was bringing her car back. She had an old school. So he was bringing her old school back to get the truck to take it back. So whatever, they can go talk or whatever. And he was just like, Amanda said she not coming back and you can leave. And I was like, what? So I'm sitting there with Linda, and she like, me and her talking. I'm crying. I'm just like, I don't know what she doing. I don't know what's going on or why she doing this. And it was me, Linda, and her dad. And he's like, I don't know why Amanda doing this. You know, the way they talk or whatever. He's like, and her mom was just talking to me. We talked for like 2 hours. And I don't even remember who I had come get me. I can't remember. I think Shira came and got me. And we talked for so long before I left that day. And she gave me some pictures or whatever. We went through this book. Yeah. So we went through this book. She was showing me a bunch of like old pictures when, you know, Amanda was little. And she gave me a few pictures out of this book she had. And we were just sitting there talking. Went on the porch, like back in the day, smoke her little cigarette or whatever. We sitting out there talking and shit. So She just like, Mia, I think you should leave. You shouldn't be putting up with Amanda's shit. She shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it. She didn't like the girl that Amanda was with at all. So she was like, I'm sick of her and da-da-da-da. Don't let Amanda do this stuff to you. Okay, I was like, I think I was like 18, 19. I don't remember if I was 19 yet, but I was somewhere around there. So I ended up leaving, and I was just like, fuck it. Went back over to Shaquilla house or whatever. I ended up staying over there for a while, still in the streets. We go out of town or whatever. Man, everybody keep calling me today, yo. Like, we get ready to, we go out of town or whatever, and go to the Black Expo. We have some little issues. I meet this chick though before we went out of town. Like, I already knew her too, but you know, had heard of her because get this, Amanda's ex, when right after before me, that was my cousin, was this girl's ex at the time. And the girl reached out to me some way, somehow. I don't know what happened. I was not like tomboy status, nothing for real. I was super girly girl, everything. Old girl reached out to me, and you know, we kind of chopped it up a little bit and thought we was cool. Next thing I know, she liked me. So I'm like, what the fuck? Here we go. Like, it was just like a, like, you like me type shit. So it was like, okay. But she was the girly girl. So me and her started chopping it up, you know, whatever. Me and her ended up having some dealings. But throughout this time of having some dealings, I think we stopped talking for a minute. My first son's dad, I already knew he was running around being a little fake gangster and all that other stuff you do in the hood, you know, whatever. I was all infatuated at that. My cousins was the fucking shit. And I loved, like, my family at this point was like, yo, I got cousins, da-da-da-da. I already knew who they were. I just wasn't kicking it with nobody. I had got older. I had this one cousin named Tish that was, like, my favorite. We had already knew each other since we was in elementary school and shit. And just start getting closer with my family. At this time, I started fucking with they little homeboy that they had hanging with the family because he was some hood ass, like, little, you know, he was a shit, had a big name, whatever. So me and him started having dealings, but me and old girl had dealings. So y'all, I don't care who get mad. I'm telling this story. This is my story. I'm telling it how it is, and this is just that. So Amanda was out the picture. She back talking to my cousin, old girl, whatever. They kicking it. They doing their thing, whatever. So I done moved on. To this period, I'm like 19. I'm back. I'm kicking it with old girl. And me and her, I don't know. It was a little thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't know, but they knew, but they didn't know, but they didn't know, whatever. It was a thing for a minute. We had a crib. We got a crib together or whatever. And dude had got locked up, my baby daddy. So B get out. But me and Birdie was together. So me and Birdie wasn't together, but me and B was together, but it was just some weird shit. Either way it go, we all ended up, I got pregnant. We ended up all in the same house. Somehow, some way, whatever. He moves in, I move him in, and his homeboy, my cousin Chuck was his homeboy. He damn near, he didn't move in, but he liked Birdie, but it was just like, hold on, but it was like, but it was like, I don't know. So it was like I had a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and I was pregnant. It was just weird. Like, just say pimp. I was a pimp. Nah, because I don't know who feelings I'm going to hurt, but I really don't give a fuck. We're grown, and y'all know what it was. Y'all know what the fuck went on. So throughout this time, it was just so, I done left out so much, but I'm trying to skip past it to get back to Amanda. So I'm pregnant. Amanda started calling. Just popped up out of no fucking where. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'll play with your toys with you, and give me like 15 more minutes, and mommy going to play with you, okay? So she popped back up out of nowhere. I don't know how, what happened, what the fuck was going on. I don't know. She started reaching out to me, and we get to talking and shit. Her and old girl not together no more. They broke up. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm pregnant. At this time, I'm like, damn, I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit's crazy. So I was like, okay, trying to, I gotta be with my baby daddy because I'm pregnant. Woo. She comes out to the house. You know, me and Amanda kicking it. Like, this point, I was looking at Amanda like my friend. Like, this shit so old. We went through a lot of shit. And I started looking at her in different aspects. A little bit. Because I was still cool with her family. I was still talking to, like, a lot of them or whatever. And we were still cool. Like I said, I'm pregnant. So, I think time went on. It was like Three Rivers Festival or some shit. I was pregnant as hell. Didn't want to go nowhere. Me and Birdie had started having fallings. We start getting into it all the time. We got into fights and shit, all that, all the time. She started talking to Amanda. You know, Amanda's sister called me like, ain't this your girlfriend? I think she came to the fireworks with Amanda, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, for real? Okay. So I'm finding shit out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay. So I just like, fuck that shit. I ain't want to deal with it. I left it alone for a minute. Had the baby. Let me go ahead and fast forward because a lot of shit happened in between then. I'm gonna leave it alone. Had the baby. Was still dealing with the daddy. And in between that, we would break up. We'll do whatever. Amanda was back in the city. She threw a Halloween party. I had my baby in August. She threw a Halloween party in October. So I go out there because, you know, I used to run this store called Champs, and I was like this shit popping everything, you know, putting everybody on or whatever. Hold on, y'all. My little coffee. But anyway, so Amanda had this big ass Halloween party. I go out there, I see her. She was with this other chick at the time, or they had just started talking. Another little chick from around the way that I'm cool with, from my city, you know, that I knew, little young girl, went to school with her and everything. So we go out there. She started saying her name was something else. And she was like, yeah, this Ayana, this the girl I'm with. And I'm like, who? I'm like, that's Ashley. And I don't know if Amanda knew her name, didn't know her name. I don't know what the fuck was going on at the time. Yes. Yeah, go ask him. So at the time, okay, whatever. That's what happened. So I leave the party. And because I went out there by myself. But it was a whole bunch of people out there that didn't like me. I didn't like... all kind of shit. So I leave the party and I go back to my baby daddy was staying with his mom. Like I said, I was like, this point I was 20. I think 20. So I was 20 or I think I was 20. So I leave and I go back over there because I had to go to work the next day. So I go over there. Okay, go back there for a second. Give me a few minutes. So I leave and I go back over there. I had to be to work early in the morning. So I'm like, I gotta go to work. I'm about to go. I cut out. She calls. I get over there. I'm asleep, laying down in the bed, sleep, everything. The baby, him, we all sleep in the bed. She calls my phone at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And she like, D. I'm like, hello? She like, D, where you at? And I was like, I'm in the bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you tomorrow. She like, no, where you at? I need to see you. And I'm like, what? And at this point, he laying next to me. So he looking like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, D, we got to be together, da-da-da-da. This ain't what I want to do. I guess she can start talking to a girl. So I'm just like, what the fuck? So I never responded. This nigga took my phone. Bitch, quit calling her motherfucking phone, blah, blah, blah. They get into it. They get to arguing on the phone. I'm like, oh, I got to go. This shit's crazy. So he get off the phone. Me and him get to arguing. I'm like, dude, how you gonna get mad because this girl just called me? Like, I'm not calling her. I'm not talking to her. I don't talk to her. Trying to express to him that I don't talk to her. So me and him get to tussling. I get the baby. I get up, get my son ready. I'm trying to leave. He like, you ain't going no motherfucker where. I'm like, shit, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. You tripping. So he get the baby. He take the baby, or his mom, boyfriend, stepdad, somebody come out and grab the baby and was like, let me get the baby. Y'all need to calm down. So I'm like, fuck this. If y'all ain't giving me my baby, I'm leaving. I'll come back and get him tomorrow when I get off work. So I got my book bag on. I done put on a book bag and shit. So I'm trying to leave out the house. Me and him, he like, you ain't going no fucking where. Da, 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 da. I was like, I'm fucking leaving. So we fight. We going back and forth. I get out the door, go out the apartments. It was like Woodview Manor apartments. I go out these apartments and he grabbed me by the back of my book bag and just like tossed me into the street. So I'm like, what the fuck? So when I fall into the street, I hit my head on the cement. So it fractured my skull behind my ear and pinched the nerves in my face. So now they take me to the hospital. I think I had a seizure. I hit my head, my ear bleeding, shit going on. So I go to the hospital, and all I remember is waking up back at the house the next like 2 days later or some shit. The next day or something. I was out of it, so I could remember. I wake up and I'm just like, my head was hurting so bad. I just went to sleep. I didn't go to work. I told him I couldn't come, and like my shit was messed up. So like 2 days later, I'm like going to work. I get up to go to work, and I'm like, damn. Not realizing I didn't had a whole stroke. It was called Bell's palsy because the nerves and everything was messed up in my face. So I go to work, and I got my cousin, I think Leah. Somebody came to my job and was like, DS and what? Because I'm working at the mall. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the mall. They come in. She's like, what the fuck wrong with your face? I'm like, what you mean? Because it's like a reaction that don't happen instant. It kind of like kept going and going and going to where this whole right side of my face wasn't working. So I'm talking and shit, laughing, and my face not moving over here. So I'm like, what you talking about? So I end up seeing what was going on. I left work, went to the hospital, found out I had a stroke. Some other shit, got some shit fixed, started getting MRIs and some other shit, took some steroids, and the shit got better. So after that, because I had called her, I told her what happened, and I'm like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just got into it with him, woo, this what happened, my face fucked up. So they run into each other at the mall some way, somehow. Amanda and him, they about to fight. They squaring up, they about to fight each other, woo, whatever. At this point, I think me and him kept dealing off and on. We had broke up or whatever, but we were still dealing because he dealt with my family. He was real good friends with my family, and they fucked with him or whatever. But at this point, I think she ended up dating my friend, the girl, Ashley. So time went on. I moved, got my own crib and shit, did whatever, and just have basically moved on. Started kicking it with my best friend's little brother. Well, sister, whatever, his name Keith, and we was real cool. He ended up getting real cool with Amanda somehow. I don't know. I think I introduced them, and they started being real cool. We was going out there. I would go kick it with Amanda and Ashley, all of that. Me and her was not dealing whatsoever. We was just friends because I was still friends with her family. At this time, I'm like 22, 21, 22. We still cool. She had a big Halloween party. We go out there. I gotta see where the pictures is. I got those too. We go out there to the party. My cousins, everybody out there, everybody partying. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, she had this cousin named Carlos. Didn't know it was her cousin. I don't know. Somebody cousin, goddammit. It was somebody fucking cousin. The nigga was fine as hell. We started dealing. We talked and dealt with each other for a couple of years or whatever throughout that. And throughout the time of her dealing with Ashley. Years went by. I hadn't seen her, haven't talked to her for a minute, and then all of a sudden, like, we seen each other again. I was at work. I had another baby. Lord Jesus. And the crazy thing about me having another baby and all of the dealings was the city was so fucking small. My baby daddy that I had a baby by was dating a girl that hung with my cousin, her first, the ex, and she also hung with my first baby daddy ex. So all of them wanted to fucking fight me. Like, none of them liked me. Like, dude, when I tell you they jumped me so many times and we fought so many times, like, the shit was crazy. That's probably a whole nother story in itself. But, so mind you, all these years, all this shit going on, it get all the way up to she now dating this cool ass white chick. She do nails. She was dating her. I'm in the mall. I'm working. I had custody. I had my 2 kids. I had custody of 2 of my little sisters, and you know, had a crib. I was going to school and I was working. So she come to the mall. She see me at one of my extra jobs or whatever. She stopped by with my homeboy Aaron. Cool ass white dude. He was cool as fuck. He was like her ace back then. Cool as hell. They stopped by. She would always stop by and see me. She would call me, D, what's up, D, what's up? You know, we was cool. We was still friends. We would just talk. You know, like, it was never, we wouldn't fuck with each other. I think we fucked with each other in between there too, but I kind of left that out. But anyway. So, at this point, we was just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was cool as fuck. That was my homie. That was somebody that knew literally everything about me. Like, Amanda knew everything. Like, back in the day, I told her all of the things that ever happened back in the day as growing up and shit. She knows. She's one person that knows everything about me. So it was like, okay, we was cool. I looked at her like my homie or whatever. And she came by a few times. She would come to the mall, come see me. She'd call me, you know. She even slid out to the crib a couple times. I braided her hair, whatever. Time went on. I think she stopped dating the one girl because the girl had gave her, like, I don't know if y'all ever realized she has like a tattoo on her face. It's a strawberry because they got into a fight. The girl hit her in her face and it was like a black eye or a mark that never went away. So she put a tattoo over it. So she stopped dating her and ended up fucking with this other stripper chick. I will never understand. I can't understand half of the shit that I did. But I will never understand. Hold on, guys. I call my phone. I will never understand this shit, like, whatsoever. So she ends up fucking with this other chick or whatever, and it was just like a mess, a fucking mess. And I'm like, what the fuck? So at this point, me and her stopped talking about a year because she was dealing with this girl. Next thing I know, she come back around. She hit me up. She come out to the crib, what's going on, what's been going on, I ain't with such and such no more, blah, 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 this and that and the other. I'm like, yeah, okay, you always say that, Amanda. This always happens. I don't know, I'm probably about 2 kids in. I'm probably about 23, 24. That's crazy. 2 kids in. So probably about 23, 24. She come back out. She come to the house or whatever, and she like, yeah, my mom's sick. And I'm like, what? And y'all, this shit crazy. Like, when I tell y'all, like I said, this is the only thing that I could say that I regret out of all the years and everything, because when I tell y'all, her mom meant so fucking much to me. Like, I still ain't got the attack yet. I'm gonna do it one day. I just ain't found nobody that's bomb as fuck. But she came to tell me that her mom was sick. She had cancer and she wasn't doing good. And I was like, okay. I was working. I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school or something, and I was working. And I was taking care of my sister, taking care of my kids. And I was like, damn, okay. And I was like, bet. She kept calling me. She called me for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. D, what's going on? My mom asked about you. Are you going to come see her? By this time, she made it to hospice. And I was like, yeah. I was like, bet, I'm coming out there. I'm going to come when I get off tomorrow. I told her that shit. And the next day, I came home and I was so tired. I fell asleep. And to this day, like, yo, like. My bad. I didn't go. And I talked to her like the next day. And she was like, my mom passed. And I was like, what? Y'all, I'm a crybaby, so I'm trying not to like cry and shit. But anyway, so I ain't make it out there, and ended up going. She ended up back with the girl again somehow, because I seen them together at the funeral. Because I called her like, you know, you want me to come to the funeral with you, or what's going on? We didn't chop it up because I guess she had been back with the girl by this point or whatever. So I just pull up. I go to the funeral or whatever, see everybody, pay my respects. And after that, it kind of went on. She broke up with the girl again. Hadn't talked to her for a minute. She came around. I seen her a few times. You know, we chopped it up. I was with my baby daddy at the time. And she was just in the streets. I don't think she was with nobody yet. Left my baby daddy. Ended up talking to somebody else or whatever. This is about 27 at this point. Probably about 2011 or so. 2012. She meet this new chick. Fucking toddler ass little girl. I think she was like 15 or some shit. Some Mexican girl, which all y'all should know. Like, it's crazy. Me, old girl, and I'm having some issues at this point. So I'm reaching out to her, like trying to, you know, chop it up with her, see what's going on. Like, yo, I got something going on. I need your advice. I hit up her nieces, hit up a few people like, yo, where Amanda at? What's going on? They like, oh, she got a new girlfriend, and oh yeah, she ain't gonna talk to you because da-da-da-da. No, I was like, shit, I ain't tripping on her new girlfriend. I'm trying to holler at her. I got some questions. You know, I got some shit going on. Shit, that new girl, she ain't letting her talk to nobody. Fucked up her family, did some shit, whatever. She just went left. I gotta go. I'm gonna come back with a part 2 because it's been an hour. I just gave y'all this. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna come back and talk to y'all later because I got something to do. But I come back with part 2 because I gotta go. Money calling, my baby calling, I got shit to do. So I'll be back, y'all, with a part 2. And I'm going to wrap some more of this shit up. But I just had to give y'all a little bit of some true facts. Like, yo, like, this shit ain't no game. This shit went on for years. But I'm going to leave on this note. I never had an issue. We never broke up with any issues. To this day, I look at her as, like, my homie. You know, I know that we dealt with each other, you know, for, you know, years or whatever. And she got, like, a little girlfriend, wife, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a fuck about any of that. That's not my problem. That's her headache. But it still wasn't even an issue with old girl. Like, she just flipped the script because she tried to holler at me on the low. Like, was inboxing me in my DMs, talking about can you send me some twerk videos? Can I see some pictures of you? And I'm like, bitch, do Amanda know what the fuck you doing? Like, what you want? Like, bitch, no. And it went left. And that was just like a year ago. Like, literally was just in my DMs, in my inbox. We was on Snapchat. She would always snap me on a snap. But all of a sudden, she got on some weirdo shit. And I was like, girl, what the fuck? So me and her end up falling out. So I'm just trying to fast forward. But I'm going to get back to it. I ain't even finna get y'all that. I'm going to come back. But I got to go.
Bitch, I got a check.
Bitch, I got a check.
Checking in the bag.
Checking in the bag.
Bitch, I got a check.
Bitch, I got a check.
All you niggas mad.